The skull informs us it's a free game by locomalito. So it must be time for The Curse of Issyos. I'm Brickroad. Welcome to Let's Play The Curse of Issyos. This is a modern retro-style game. That's locomalito's entire shtick. He likes to make games in the style of usually specific consoles of years past. If you look at the locomalito website, which you can find a link to down in the doobly-doo below my video, all kinds of games. The entire catalog is old computers and consoles from the 80s and 90s. And he says that this particular game, The Curse of Issyos, is not any particular console specifically, just kind of done in a retro style. But to me, this is kind of reminiscent for some reason of the Sega Master System, more than anything to me. And I don't really know why I say that, because I have not, I have never owned a Sega Master System game. So the first thing I want you to be aware of in The Curse of Issyos is, for one thing, it's a free game. If you like what you see, you might consider stopping the video and going to download the game for free and giving it a try. The second thing you might consider is that your boy here's just cooking dinner. Soup's on, but we have to murder him. We just have to. And he was making chicken leg soup, which we have now consumed. This game does harken back to an era of Castlevania. And when I've showed this game to people, when I see comments of people playing it on other YouTube videos, it's what everybody says. It's Castlevania in ancient Greece. I beg to differ quite a lot, because Castlevania is a terrible game that I hate, and this game I'm actually quite fond of. The more that I play it, the more that I enjoy it. That key that I just picked up is very important for a secret ending to the game, which we will be getting. I thought that key was very cleverly hidden, and I'll explain kind of later on as we go through the game how I managed to put together how to get the best ending. It's not that terribly difficult, but I still do feel kind of clever for having figured it out. I want to talk a little bit about how I discovered this game. I think a couple years ago, we saw it being played on stage at one of the GDQ events. Some guys were playing, not this game, but another locomalito game called Maldita Castilla, I think, which is a Ghosts and Goblins XP. And I bookmarked the guy's website because it was a free game and it looked like something I might want to try to play. And I never did. I never got around to it. But I just bought a new laptop just a couple of weeks ago. And in the process of all my bookmarks and stuff got carried over from the old laptop, from my old Google Chrome profile, but I'm like, I'm gonna go through these bookmarks, and we're gonna get rid of some of these bookmarks that I just don't use. One of those bookmarks I was cleaning out turned out to be the locomalito webpage, so I kind of rediscovered the locomalito webpage and all of his other games, several of which I'm going to be playing for you on the channel, starting with Curse of Issyos. I really like what they do with the last hit of this Cyclops monster here. Once we get him down to the last hit point, he just waits for it right in his eye. But this is not a Castlevania-like in my estimation, because you have jump control, which automatically makes it way, way better than any Castlevania game on the NES, easily. I guess that kind of puts it in the realm of Castlevania 4, maybe. It's hard to really say that anything is this game's contemporary, because this game came out in 2015, I think. But at the top of the screen, you'll notice I've got some UI elements there. For example, I've got three boxes up in the middle of the screen for... If you're making a game about ancient Greece, you have to make it about collecting 3 treasures. And here's my second treasure, a suit of armor. I've upgraded my sword attack to a spear. I have learned that people... I guess... It's really hard to say what most people who play this game do, but... I know that speedrunners who play this game prefer the sword over the spear. The 2 weapons... They're the only 2 weapons you get, first of all. That's not true. You get this bow. I can fire a bow and arrow. That's kind of your only sub-weapon that you get. Which is another difference between this and Castlevania. In Castlevania, well, I don't know. Castlevania, you really only get 1 useful sub-weapon, and the rest are just crap. So maybe locomalito was like, you know what? We're only going to have 1 sub-weapon in the game. We'll just make it useful. We'll get a lot more use out of the bow and arrow later on in the game. I shouldn't think. Some of the other UI elements up there, the 3 treasures, the one box is for my weapon. You can either have a sword or a spear. The next box is for your armor if you have it. The armor, I think it reduces the amount of damage you take, and also if I duck, I put my shield out in front of me, and that will duck, as far as I can tell, projectiles from exactly 2 monsters in the whole game. But very, very useful in both cases. Next to that, you see my timer, and like there's a lives counter over the little heart. That's how many lives I have, and a keys counter. Some levels in the game, this is level 2 in the game, have keys hidden throughout. And I'm kind of going to this big maze-like level. There's like 3 vertical floors you can explore here. And I actually found all the keys already. But throughout the level, you need 3 keys in order to open the door at the end of this level. And the 3 keys are hidden in these little item boxes. They're hidden kind of randomly. In fact, I think they're entirely random. Not entirely random, because some of the boxes are hard-coded. I believe any box that has armor in it, if you don't already have armor, will always have armor in it, like the statue of Athena. Some boxes like this one, this always has the health upgrade in it. That gives me 2 more dots of health. But the keys are just kind of randomly strewn around the level. So the idea is you kind of have to wander around this big open level searching for 3 keys. But we also found a key in the first level that wasn't associated. We didn't use it, so now we have 4 keys. The first thing is, yes, you can use that key in this level if you find it early. You can take the key that you found in the first level, bring it to this level. Ooh, I don't want that. It is like Castlevania in the sense that sometimes you'll get weapons you don't want out of boxes, and you just have to kind of be on the lookout for them. But there are 3 keys hidden outside of levels where you need them, and those 3 keys are how you get the game's secret ending, which we'll be going for. So the first time I played the game, I didn't complete the game, because you have limited continues, and I burned myself out of continues, I think in level 5. The boss level 5 I thought was really ridiculous. It made me rage quit, I'm not gonna lie. I did rage quit once or twice against that boss. But the second time I played the game, I got to the very last worlds, and there was a clue in that world that maybe there was more to the game. I also found a door that I couldn't open my second time through the game, which I didn't find my first time. I'm going to show all this off as I go through. There's another sword there I don't want. I'll show all this off and kind of walk through my thought process here as we go in the game. The difference between the 2 weapons, the sword and the spear, they both do the same amount of damage. The sword is much, much faster, but the spear has greater range, and I find the range is more helpful. I now have my choice of 3 levels. There's this level down here. This level over here is like an NPC town with a shop, and we don't want to go to either of these places just yet. First of all, we want to go through here. This isn't a whole level. This is just like a little forest interlude, and I guess this is another Castlevania thing, is the horrible bouncing men. They're satyrs in this game. They were flea men in castle butts. And these Amazon warrior women here, the shield is extremely useful in blocking their projectiles. They also have shields as well. And I think the way that the enemy shields work in this game, like you might be thinking it's kind of like a Zelda 2 situation, where if an enemy has a shield, you have to try to stab the enemy, like bait the shield into position and then stab them. I don't think it works like that. I think an enemy with a shield, there's the warrior women, like I've said, and then there's skeletons you've seen me fight. I think the way it works is every time you hit them, they just have a straight up 50% chance of blocking the attack with the shield. It's just, they have the ability to sometimes just negate the damage from your weapon. That's how it seems anyway. Baiting the strike doesn't seem to help much. There are NPCs in this game. We're going to meet the first one now. And this was my first clue that there was something else, because my first time through the game, I found this guy here. And he says it's ironic. And you can read what he's saying, but basically, I talked to him, and then I accidentally talked to him a second time. Hephaestus is a good man. Well, I hadn't found Hephaestus, but I accidentally talked to him again because the D-pad on my controller is a little pants. But he says the Hand of Talos, and I had seen the Hand of Talos already. Also, he sells a key, which, I mean, just if he sells a key, you buy the key, right? My first thought is, oh, he just sells a spare key, which will help in the next level if you go past. But he says the Hand of Talos. So I had already done these other levels over here. This is down here is episode 3 in the game. I had already done this. And so you can't go back and revisit the level. He's giving you a clue for a level you've probably already cleared. But the Hand of Talos was an important clue. Yeah, you see what I mean? These skeletons, they just kind of... Half the time, it just seems they absorb the blow from the spear. I do find that the extra range from the spear is better than the rapid attack from the sword. In boss fights, the sword, you kind of have to be perfectly placed next to a creature, like within one block of the creature, in order to damage them. And if you can pull it off, if you can do that, then you can do a lot of damage in a short amount of time. But in every level and boss fight in the game, I do find the increased range of the spear to be more helpful, except for the second half of this stage, which we'll see. See, I bought that guy's key, because the level beyond him is a mountain pass level, and the level beyond that is another temple, another kind of open temple with locked doors. And my first thought is, oh, you can just buy a key from him to kind of make that temple a little easier. The randomness in that temple does make it very, very difficult some of the time. Can you just walk into my spear here? That'd be very helpful. I guess not. And it's not safe to jump over to her because... There it is. Now it is. She had a little buddy helping her out. I got some grapes. Delicious. Let's wait for these guys to go away, I think. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful. That worked out really well. See, I bought the guy's spare key, or maybe I didn't buy it the first time because it's pretty expensive. It's 25 bucks. Ooh, I want the sword here. The sword is helpful on the next screen, but I'm gonna skip it because the problem is the next screen is much, much easier with the sword because it's the one screen where the speed is very helpful. But after we get through this level, I'm gonna want my spear back, and if you don't get another spear drop, there's the Hand of Talos. And there's another key, the third of which I've now picked up, the third like hidden key. So this screen is, Talos is chasing you, and he's instant death if he catches you. He's coming in from the left there, he's coming in hot. And you have to destroy these walls as you go. And this is where having the extra speed from the sword is very, very helpful because you get through those walls much quicker, but I'd rather get through this level through the skin of my teeth than to have the spear for the level after, rather than go into the next level without my spear. Oh, that's not good. Nothing is good here. And, I gotta drop straight down and fight my way through that skeleton. That's what I got to do. Shoutouts to J Kai for sponsoring this video. If you liked the video and you want to see more, please tickle my thumb, leave a friendly comment, and ring my little bell.